All right. Hi, Cal. How you doing? Okay, let me really quickly update my phone because I can do that now. I have the power. I have the power to do that. Hi, Carix. How you doing? Hopefully my mic is on. Okay, I was like, hopefully OBS updating didn't just absolutely kill it, but we're okay. Crispy. Okay, I really should be good and not do the like ADHD depression thing and actually just eat my fucking bagel. I'm sad because we had to stop buying our nice bagels because shit is too fucking expensive. And so now I have to deal with regular American bagel. And it is low-key kind of nasty. Once you eat the good bagel, you can never go back. Oh my god, I know. I need to, though. I'm actually going to write that down on my little post-it note. I finally got through all my fucking post-it notes. So now I actually have the ability. To be honest, Garrix, I'm not doing well. I'm going to be transparent about that. I'm actually doing really, really bad. But I have work to do. And I was debating whether or not I wanted to actually stream. I'm doing effectively like a social media hiatus starting tomorrow. And I was trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to stream. But I recognize that if I'm kind of left to my own devices, the ADHD will say, no, you will not work. And so this is the most effective way to get me to actually continue to still do work. And I recognize you guys are not, you know, the open, unadulterated internet. So it's slightly different than just being on the internet itself. But yeah, I am not doing well. But I'm alive, I guess. I wish I had something better to say, but PTSD is a bitch is all that I have to say. I don't think if I told myself like 10 years ago, it's like, you're gonna have to, like, you're gonna develop this and have to deal with it, I would have been like, it probably won't be that bad. No, it's that fucking bad. And I deeply feel for like anybody else who also is dealing with this, because it is a different beast than any other mental health animal I think I've ever tackled. Like, it's insane. Hi, Aqua. I hope you're having a good day. Hopefully school doesn't suck. We're going to finish up the line and flats for these commissions for Drea today. Oh, gross. SAT week. I am so fucking sorry. Oh my god, it is around that time, isn't it? Those things are so fucking pointless. Like, I don't know how to tell people that standardized tests are literally fucking worthless. Yeah, it's not a fun rodeo. And like PTSD, of course, is a sliding scale, you know. So some people are going to have much more severe PTSD than others, and I would consider mine like a low mid-grade PTSD. But the current situation is not making shit any easier at all to deal with. I'm effectively completely unable to sleep. My brain is just overloaded. There's not much that I can do. Like as of right now, the only treatment for PTSD is to take like magic mushrooms. Like I'm not even joking. Like that's pretty much all we got. And in the state that I live in, it is illegalized. It's totally fine. You can go and do that at like they call them healing centers. So that's not a problem. The main issue is that I have seizures. And so I couldn't go and access that treatment even if I wanted to because there's a chance that it could turn my brain into a disco. And so effectively I have to just raw dog PTSD when I have a treatment that's like right there. I could be utilizing, but because my brain is a disco, I cannot do that. Oh my god, there's no such thing as drawing too much, though. I'm going to throw that out there. If you do draw a lot, though, make sure you take care of your wrists. There are a bunch of physical therapy exercises that you can do for drawing, because just like an athlete, your hands are very delicate, and it's just, you know, you got to take care of them, so... But you can do those and it will extend your drawing time. Utilizing wrist braces is also a super good thing to do if you draw a lot. But that's like telling like a runner not to run, you know what I mean? Or a pianist not to play the piano. I'm going to have to tell this author, unfortunately, that due to my mental health, I am only going to be able to do these portraits for her, and she wanted like 2 other big pieces from me, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell her that I just cannot fucking do it, and that is unfortunate, but c'est la vie, I guess. I hope you do well on your AP test, or at least like passably. You know what I'm saying? That was like all I fucking hoped for with IB tests. I was like, I'm not gonna do good, but as long as I can like maybe get like a 3, I'll be fine. A 3 is good enough for me. I'll take it. Nice streak. Thank you, Aqua. Panic. Only panic. That's been my brain literally every fucking morning at 5 in the morning. Between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. every day. Just fucking unadulterated panic in the middle of my sleep, which is super fun. I say with a heavy dose of sarcasm. I love being woken up in the middle of the night by non-existent fear. can say, though, that over the last week, this is actually what started my most recent existential crisis, was I think I cracked the code on the downfall of Disney, and I think I figured out why they got shitified, and the answer is unfortunately massively depressing. And the reason that the U.S. is currently in a crisis right now, it's all fucking connected. And I feel like one of those stupid conspiracy theory dudes with the board. But my evidence is pretty solid. So now that I've seen Into the Void, I'm like, that's unfortunate. BlackRock. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Three investment firms is the reason. They are single-handedly responsible for destroying the Earth's resources, polluting the planet, starting the war in Iran, ruining Disney, the attack campaigns against, quote, woke people, Donald Trump, the whole list. And that is insane. And effectively, the realization that I had coincided with watching Atlantis: The Lost Empire. And I was trying to do some investigation into why, after that film specifically, Disney massively shitified itself. Because that film is woke as shit. It's an anti-capitalist, anti-war, anti-colonization film with a massively diverse cast, with voice actors who are Black, Indigenous American, Latina. Like, the gambit is so wide. And I was like, how the fuck did we go from this to Disney's shitty live-action remakes? And the answer is that they got bought out by BlackRock in 2009. And then the enshittification process began, unfortunately. Just a little bit. Yeah, we're all right. I don't know if I necessarily have the emotional will to explain why BlackRock is evil, so if you want to go fucking look it up, you can. And definitely, to be clear on my end, this is definitely not like an anti-Semitic take on my front. I'm not down the fucking red pill butthole, so I don't blame that. Like, there are a lot of people who hate BlackRock because of that reason, and that is, I will say very bluntly, anti-Semitic as shit, and not the reason that we should be upset with BlackRock. There are many, many, many people that work and have large amounts of investments in BlackRock. So watch out for the anti-Semitic pipeline, because you might accidentally end up down that one. But, yeah. So effectively, in 2001, we watched the American Dream die in real time. And that is a very weird thing that I've lived through as a human, like as somebody who is like 32 years old. Like, I remember effectively the day that 9/11 happened, and that event corresponded with literally the explosion of any kind of control we as American citizens had over our government or our liberties or any of that shit. So effectively, I came to the realization that I've been watching the slow and painful downfall of my own culture over the last, like, 15 years. And that is a very weird place to be. Or 25 years? I'm full of shit. By God, that's a lot of years. So much shit happened between 1945 and 1989. So much shit happened. And is that just for US? Is that like... 'cause... Also, I drank some milk. So yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling particularly demoralized. My books keep getting rejected by agents. I don't have very much faith in my projects or myself or my work anymore. I am, I think, very tired and very jaded and bitter. And it's a hard place to be. And with the amount of, like, homophobic and transphobic and just shitty shit that's on the internet right now, it's effectively impossible for me to market my business without taking fucking psychic damage. So, I'm not really sure what to do because social media is effectively the only reason that my business makes money. And I feel like I can't be on it because every time I open it, I am attacked. And that is, a really not great place to be for somebody who relies on social media in any form for income. So, I think I have officially lost my zhuzh for life, as it is said. I am a Bong Bong, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, from Inside Out, getting left in the pile of dead memories or whatever. I hate that stupid thing, but that's it. I'm either that or I'm Mrs. fucking Nesbit from Toy Story. I'm Buzz having a crash out. I am Mrs. Nesbit. I want to put on my little Tea Party apron and fucking dissociate. He knew. He fucking figured it out. I get it. I get it. Hey, Gabriel, how's it going? Nice. Overwatch has been cooking lately. Just saying. It's a toxic as fuck environment, but if you effectively ignore all the players, that shit cooks. Okay. Slowly but surely. Let me save so I don't fucking lose my progress, because that would be silly. Thankfully, the newer Adobe Recover features, like if your fucking software crashes randomly for no reason, I feel like it's pretty decent. Like before in the olden times, once that file was fucking closed, it was gone. So the fact that Photoshop can even relatively recover a file, sort of, is pretty impressive. We God, this fucking song. We get so deep, I would love to close my eyes, but I've got moves to make. There's so much pride inside my head. Alright, not bad. Sorry guys, I wish I had more to say. I don't think I've felt like myself for probably like 3 months, 4 months at this point. And it's like, it's really bad. A little birdie whispers in my ear. Why are you still here? Run along now. Buy something. I did post a thing, and I recognize a lot of you probably have already seen it, but like, I recognize that like I don't ever want to sound like I'm like begging for attention or like desperately trying to get people to engage with my work. But like legitimately at this point, the only thing that is really helping is if people do engage with my work or leave reviews on my stuff, particularly like, and I recognize not everybody reads, but I am to the point where effectively I am being completely ignored by the trad industry, and so if I can't get my books more visibility, I will not be able to have a career in this. And so I recognize every single indie artist or indie author is like, hey, you know, buy my stuff, support my stuff, read my stuff, vote on my stuff. You know, like it's a constant bombardment of like, you know, please support me, please support me. But like at this point, I am starting to recognize that I don't think my work is ever going to fit into the mold of like mainstream traditional publishing. And I'm going to be spending the next year effectively sending out query letters for this next book and getting 100% rejections again. And that is really physically painful and really demoralizing. So the only thing that will help my career move forward is like the engagement here on Twitch is great and everything, and I'm glad that you guys are here. But it's not necessarily very helpful for me in the long run. Like, I can use it to spread word about my books, but without actual tangible physical proof, or like social proof is what it's called in the marketing world, where, you know, people look at my books and they open it and there's reviews. I can't move forward. So the best thing to do is to try and leave reviews as much as humanly possible, and you know, try and introduce my work to as many people as you can. You know, if you've enjoyed any of my stories, or if you like my OCs and you think that they're fun, or if like I've brought you any semblance of joy, like the only thing that's bringing me comfort at this time is knowing that I'm not invisible. And it feels like, unfortunately, I'm talking to the same like 4 people over and over every day, and my reach is not growing. Or if it does grow, then I'm met in that place with some of the worst transphobia and homophobia I've ever fucking seen in my life. And so right now my day-to-day is not being balanced out with positive feedback on my work. Like, I am effectively just opening the internet and then getting fucking bombarded with some of the shittiest stuff that's ever been said to me in my life, at a time in which I am very emotionally worn down and unstable. So as much as it seems like pandering, you know, like I don't like to do this because it feels shallow, you know, like, please look at me, please give my stuff attention. The only reason I want to live is because I have attention. You know what I mean? It sounds really shitty. But the reality is as somebody who wants to be a self-published author and who wants to get my books out there and into the world, like, I don't have any other way of doing that unless it's via you guys. So I don't mean to be shitty and say the same thing over and over and make it seem like, you know, your guys' time here is not helpful. But like, I don't know, it's hard to explain without sounding like an ass, I recognize. But, you know, just hitting the like button on social media is often not enough for, and like this goes for any indie creators that you follow as well. So keep that in mind when you guys are engaging with other indie creators. You know, just hitting the like button, especially if they have under 5,000 followers, is often not enough. You know, like doing that like, share, comment, repost shit actually does make a massive difference. Because it especially on like platforms like TikTok will tell the algorithm that you are a worthy human being, effectively that you're worth fucking living. Your stuff is worth sharing to other people, and so without that level of aggressive engagement, effectively our shit goes nowhere. And we remain invisible. So, if you're looking to help me out in any way, I don't even need you to buy stuff. Like, legit, I will just give my books to you for free so you can read them. So that way that sphere of influence can start to grow a little bit rather than me just telling you guys over and over and over about the same products, you know? Because I realize it's non-productive. Like, you guys already know what I have going on, and so it doesn't really help me. But I'll get off my fucking soapbox so that I'm not talking about it for like 20 minutes. Yeah, well, like, even adding things to favorites or even hitting the share button and hitting copy link does that. And if you, like, and now granted, just hitting share copy link, of course doesn't put it anywhere, and so if you find something particularly helpful, sharing it into, like, Discord servers or even just DMing it to your friends and being like, hey, actually, I really like this person, you should go check them out. Like, I know it seems obnoxious, but that is effectively the only way for me to get anywhere, because the organic, quote, like, algorithm, the organic growth, doesn't work in my favor in the way that you think it does, you know. And like, unfortunately, like, the wrong, quote, wrong side of TikTok thing is very real. And I haven't had it so bad on TikTok lately. YouTube has really been a fucking cesspit, like, really bad. And it's been that's been fucking awful, actually. But if you find something, like, it doesn't have to be everything, obviously, but like, if you find one video to be like, man, this is a cool thing, you know, just like copying that link and physically giving it to somebody is the most effective way to help. Because I feel like effectively I'm swimming in a void by myself. And it's really hard. I'm really depressed, to be quite honest. Like, and I think that Keith Happisberger just said it best in a video. He, like, was crying about it, where, you know, effectively our job as content creators, and as much as I recognize that, like, some of you guys are my friends, like, my goal with this is not to, like, have fun stream time with friends. It's to, you know, grow as a creator. And in order to do that, we suddenly in this era have to be insanely vulnerable as humans, and it's our job to put our trauma full force on the internet. And it's really horrible. It is not fucking fun. But the only way that I think that I can be authentic is to explain where I'm at and be real about, you know, how things sometimes they do get better, but most of the time they stay the same. And that's hard. I effectively just have no way to protect myself. I am, you know, going onto the internet and, like, raw dogging Nazis. And I had hoped many, many years ago that I would be past this point, you know, that I would be to a point where I could self-sustain and not be stuck here, but that's not what happened. And all it's taught me is that it doesn't matter how many hours you put into something. It doesn't matter how hard you work on stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how passionate you are about your shit. People will always hate you, and it likely will never be enough to make the algorithm be kind to you. And there's probably 1% of all people that actually succeed. And it's because they get really fucking lucky. And so, I don't know. It's a hard place to be. Hey Riddle, I hope you're doing okay. I am not doing good. I'm trying to not sit in it. But I feel like if I had to describe how I feel, this is like gonna date me pretty fucking hardcore, but like I am Atreyu trying to pull Artax out of the swamp of sadness. And it's so painful. And I wish I had better news. But I am, yeah, barely holding on. Actually, I'm gonna go with silver. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I'm so sad. I wish that I had good news, you know? Bye, Riddle. Thanks for stopping in. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's been really bad. I recognize that my body is looking for release as well. Like, I've been physically unable to cry for like the last like month, I think. And so I think my body is like processing and like purging shit, which is also not helpful. So I'm sorry. My nervous system is just like fried. It doesn't, yeah, it can't sustain. Okay, so that's easy enough at least. I just like, I'm to the point where I just don't know what to do. You know, I don't know how to ask for help, because a lot of the help that I need is like stuff that people can't do, you know. And I don't blame anybody for like not having time to read, or, you know, in some cases, you know, I recognize people, everybody's dealing with their own shit, you know, whether you got like dyslexia, ADHD, whatever, stress, you know. I don't blame anybody for not engaging with my stuff. So I recognize to some extent I can no longer like ask that of people. I also recognize I found out my cousin was a Nazi this week. So it's been really, really hard. Like, and I wish that was an exaggeration. But it's like some of the saddest shit I've ever had to experience. It's so painful. And the only thing that I have left is to just disappear into my books and pretend that I'm not here anymore. And so it can be really difficult when that's my, it's like my only coping mechanism, you know? And, if I write and nobody else reads it or hears it, you know, it's, it becomes an issue of like, okay, well, do I even exist? Right? Am I real? So that's why I asked. No, it wasn't that cousin. It's a male cousin on my mom's side of my family. No, Danny's a fucking treasure. She's great. But it's like slowly I'm losing my family, you know? I don't have anybody in my immediate family, like, other than my parents, that I can trust anymore. And it's so scary. So the only thing I have left is just effectively raw, unadulterated escapism. Because I can't do drugs, because that'll make my brain go fucking crazy. Not like that's like a good idea anyway. Obviously don't do drugs, but like, for a long time, like, that's really like all humans have been able to do when shit gets this bad, is to just try and like effectively force eject your brain. And I feel like when I do that with my writing and then nobody reads it, I'm effectively just alone in a room, and I'm trying to share my joy and my pain, and I'm just being met with silence, and it's really painful. And then if you go onto the internet to try and get other people who are like you to look at your work, then you get met with transphobia. You know, you get told to just fucking kill yourself. And that's what I've been dealing with for the last, like, month and a half especially, is it's just like every time I post on certain platforms, there will be at least one comment. And some of it gets caught by the auto mods, but most of it doesn't. And I feel like there is no safe space. I have nothing. My family is not safe. The internet is not safe. I have no place to share my stuff. No place where I can put it and not get told that I'm a worthless piece of shit, that I don't deserve to live.
And so even the family that I could kind of rely on to be like, yeah, can you guys back my Kickstarter? It's like, nope, not anymore, because it turns out that they're Nazis. So I feel I'm alone. And it hurts really bad. And I can't, I don't know, I can't get my brain to stop anymore. It's to the point where, like, even playing games and stuff that used to be fun, I don't feel any joy from it. It's like, you know, I don't know, I imagine it's like what it's like for a vampire to eat food. You know, you remember the ghost of like what that used to feel like and how good it used to be, and then you can't, it just doesn't do anything for you anymore. So I'm in a really bad spot. And I feel like I don't want to carry it anymore. You know, I wish that I had money for a publicist. You know, if I did, then that publicist would be able to market my books for me, so then I wouldn't have to look at the internet. They could handle it. But I don't have like $8,000, $15,000 to get somebody else to take the weight. So I'm expected as a neurodivergent and LGBT marginalized ass creator to effectively put myself in front of the fucking firing squad in order to live. So I've just been in this for a while. And I'm really, I don't know. I think I've said enough. Oh, I can't forget that she needs fucking ailers. I'm gonna actually do that right now, because otherwise I will fucking forget.
I shouldn't burden you guys with this. I'm sorry. I should have not streamed today. I just remember when I was streaming a decade ago how I was like, you know, if I just keep pushing and I keep streaming consistently, eventually my audience will grow and I won't have to worry about this so much anymore, and you know, it'll be easier. The snowball will get rolling down the hill and I'll be able to, you know, get to the point where I don't have to like struggle so much to sustain my own work. And it's like, I wish I could have fucking just told myself that it was not going to happen. And it's hard. I'm probably gonna just like, I don't know. I'm like, do I delete the VOD? You know, does anybody even watch it? Like, maybe it doesn't fucking matter. So, sorry. I'm sorry if I made anybody uncomfortable. Welcome back. Yeah, I have no idea. I feel like, unfortunately, like, now that I know what I know as an adult, like, legit SATs are actually worthless. They don't measure anybody's actual growth, and they're used to determine whether or not schools get funding. If we had free universal education and didn't spend 13 fucking bazillion, actually now I guess $1.5 trillion on bombs, that kids wouldn't have to do SATs. Yeah, getting extra time off is nice, though. I just, like, wish that if you finished the SATs and shit early, or, like, the CSAPs or whatever the fuck, that they would just let you leave when you were done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like trapping the person in the room and making them just sit there until the time for the test is done is actually also low-key torture for no reason. Yeah, right, like, if you could just read or something, like, literally anything, that would be amazing. But, like, they're just like, now sit, and it's like, I don't want to just sit there and die. I don't want to just, like, fucking sit in my own existential dread while I listen to the clock do clock shit. And, like, other people write and probably fail this test. Yeah, I can't sleep during the day anyway. No, it's legit a form of fucking torture. And what makes me upset about TikTok is that I don't dislike doing social media. I feel like for once in my life, I'm actually, like, kind of good at it, and so it's insanely frustrating to be in a position where I post shit and then randomly somebody will be like, this sucks and you're ugly. And it's like, wow, okay. You know? Like, these platforms don't do jack shit to moderate their users, and it's up to us as the user to effectively just be the fucking spinning board for all of these pieces of shit. And I don't really know what we're supposed to do about that. Because I'm telling you, like, I recognize I'm fucking ancient compared to some of y'all, but, like, it used to not be like this.
Like, you used to be able to go to the internet, like, go onto YouTube and, like, yeah, there'd always be, like, people leaving shitty comments, but because the internet was so small, it was much easier to moderate, and things like that would not last for very long. Like, it was more likely that somebody else would report it, and it would get taken down before the creator even saw it, or the moderation teams were actually going through the internet and being able to fix it. But because the internet is now so large and so many videos and pieces of content get uploaded every single day, they have zero ability to moderate it, and their AI moderators are not smart enough to be able to catch like 90% of the shit. And so it's like, I don't know, I remember what the internet was like in 2008, and it was a much different place. Like, if you can imagine Fur Affinity, like, and if you haven't spent a lot of time on Fur Affinity, the community is wonderfully small, and, like, it is so fucking rare for people to say horrible shit, and then the comment gets left up. Like, that shit gets insta-nuked, and real human moderators see it and take that shit down, and it was... like, now, again, there were the fucking places, like the dark web-ass places of the internet, but you could choose to not go there, and now that sewage from that fucking, the cesspit that is like 4chan and shit has leaked everywhere, and these companies are not doing anything to stop that from happening. Like, it's just up to us as the users to decide whether or not we want to be a fucking whipping post every time we post. And it's up to us to just, like, deal. It should be their job as the platform to fucking make sure their place is a safe place to be, and they don't give a shit. And I think what's hard for me as a millennial is knowing that there was such a sense of hope when the internet first came out, because all of a sudden you were talking to people that like we are now, like we would have not ever had access to, and because things were reasonably moderated, like, it was like, wow, this is the first place that I've ever gone in my life where I don't feel like people fucking hate me. And that level of safety and security and joy has been pretty abruptly just fucking taken away. And so, I don't know. It's a hard place to be. Like, I remember when Facebook was fun. And it wasn't just like a rage pit for fucking angry boomers, like, and Nazi propaganda from Russia. Like, crazy that that's like even a sentence I can fucking say. Like, and that's not even me being hyperbolic. Like, that's like actual shit going on over there, you know? It's like crazy that, like, I'll scroll through TikTok and see a fucking swastika necklace for sale on the TikTok shop. Like, that's insane. Like, insane. But I can't mark it in person. It's ineffective. And then now nobody can read. So I'm like, I'm backed into a fucking corner. I don't know why I picked this career. I wish I was smart enough to be in, like, chemistry. Oh, yeah. No, that was a thing that happened. It was like probably last year. But yeah, point being is I don't think that it's necessarily like the intent of these platforms to do this. Because that was an individual creator selling that particular item. But the point is it did not get taken down until like effectively 500,000 people had gotten flashbanged by it. And like, yeah, when I say that that is not how the internet used to be, I mean it. Like, yeah, sure, I can remember a time when I was like fucking 6 and I wish that this was a fake story, but it is not. And I opened up AOL and there was like a pop-up ad that got up on there because this was again like we were still on fucking dial-up, okay? So this was the ye olden days. And I had accidentally clicked on a pop-up ad trying to go somewhere else, and it opened up just raw dog fucking unadulterated bestiality porn, like photographs, like some of the most like explicit shit I've ever seen in my whole life. My mom was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then like everybody's like screaming and trying to close it. But that's like the only time that that's ever happened to me on the early internet. There was no other instances in which that happened. I never randomly clicked on a YouTube video and accidentally found Nazi shit. Like, and I recognized that like snuff films and that kind of content existed on the internet back then. And like I don't know, the FBI I think legitimately had an easier time shutting it down because there were so few websites that like it was easier to go, oh, we don't want this, right? We have to shut this down, so let's kill this specific site. And it was easier for them to tackle. But now those same fucks are in Roblox, right? And they just moved to a different part of the internet that is more accessible. And so like the FBI can't shut down all of Roblox, right? So then they have to spend their time trying to hunt down specific individuals, which takes way longer rather than just like nuking an entire site because these companies have decided that they're completely immune. And the individual creator is the person So I don't know. It's a weird place. Hard to process as an older millennial. I feel like comparatively the state of the internet now is like imagine if you just like opened your phone just to like the default like whatever your homepage is or whatever, and then it was just fucking Nazi propaganda on it. You know what I mean? Like you expect it to be one thing and then your phone does another thing. That's what the internet is like for me now, where it's like you expect it to have some level of moderation, and these companies are more interested in selling ads and making money off of that than they are in actually moderating their platforms. So you just get, you get flashbanged by horrible shit. Weird place. And then they wonder why nobody wants to be on it, right? Why people are so vehemently like pissed off about what's going on, and it's like, well, yeah, you fuckers ruined it. You took a perfectly good thing and fucking, ruined it. But I suppose, if my theory is right, that has something to do with BlackRock, too. Let's see when BlackRock purchased Facebook. 2012. Yeah. and then was a major stakeholder by 2018. When was Cambridge Analytica? 2018! 2018! By Jesus, I feel like I'm fucking looking into the Matrix. I'm so mad. "2013 was the start of Cambridge Analytica." I want to throw up. Why? Like, why? I don't want to be this smart anymore. Like, legitimately, I'm to the point where I'm like, I wish I could just fucking get a lobotomy, because I should not be able to do this. You know, I don't want to look into the Matrix and understand that it's like, okay, effectively what and I'm sure I'm not the only fucking one thinking this, right? I'm not doing enough research into it, and guaranteed somebody has done a video essay somewhere or written a scholarly paper about this shit. But, like, I don't want to be the regular human that's like, oh, I understand why literally all of this is happening. Because, like, this is what we're fucking talking about, right? Because BlackRock bought Facebook shares, Facebook then did Cambridge Analytica, which sold a bunch of US users' data to a fucking political advertising firm, and then we were targeted by a bunch of Russian fucking bot accounts on Facebook who did marketing for Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump became president. Like, all of this shit is unfortunately, like, again, I feel like the conspiracy theorist board guy, and I'm so mad. Like, I don't want to know this shit. I don't want to be thinking about this shit, and, like, I am upset that I'm smart. Like, oh, to be a two-brain-celled fucking person whose, like, major concern is just, like, whether or not, like, their favorite show is going to be on TV, or, like, to go home and just fucking, like, binge-watch Netflix. Like, I don't want to be this guy. Because then I can see the problem, and then there's absolutely fucking nothing that I can do to fix it. Because this is like me, a single human versus a $20 trillion Leviathan. Like, I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to do about that. Like, I would literally give anything to be just fucking stupid. Oh my god. So yeah, point being is it used to not be like this. And we can effectively thank probably, like, and it's hard to find a list of all of the shareholders, like the people, the humans actually making this decision, but we can legitimately thank probably less than 500 people for where we're at right now, globally. And that has led me to an existential crash out of all fucking crash outs. I was really hoping that I was just gonna, like, open Google and that not be the answer. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do with my brain. God, it's so dry here.
Okay, hold on. I finished my milk, so I need to go get like an Alani or something. I'll be right back. Okay. I just don't know how long people can fucking pretend that this shit is normal. Like, I just want to go back and like live in fucking like literally like 2004 or like 2006 internet. That'd be pretty fucking sick. That'd be pretty good. I want to go be 2001 PlayStation Hagrid. Or whatever the fuck year that was released. Yeah, I want to go be this. People are like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, if I could achieve this, I would be much happier, I think, with my life overall. He looks like he gives zero shits about anything. He looks like he is a happy man. Sorry I have to have my fucking every like once in like 4 to 6 month crash out, guys. I wish that my life was not fucking like this. And I wish that I had a better way of like trying to fucking cope with it. It used to not be like this. man. Light coming from a black hole. Like apple. I just hate being right. People are like, what's it like being autistic? And I'm like, well, my pattern recognition is so fucking good that, like, I'm able to make insanely accurate hypothetical guesses and then fucking ruin literally my entire perception of the world. And then also that results in sometimes psychic ability, and so being autistic is a skill. It allows me to see into the fucking ass end of the Matrix, and I don't like it. Oh, I fucking hate that too, Cal. I hate that shit so much. Oh, speaking of that, everybody watch out, because, like, people are now sending, I think they're, like, VSB files as, like, folders to artists. VBS folders. I'll share this from Lava, but, like, yeah, can you tell me the time it'll take to complete the drawing? This person responded with their response times or whatever. Okay, I've sent it now. Here's my reference. How much would a full piece cost, etc. Like, this person looks like a real person, but if they send you a VBS file or a Google Drive, do not fucking click that shit. Except JPEGs and PNGs only. Because that shit will fucking insta-nuke your computer. Don't open that shit. That's original cash. Yeah, marketing is effectively 99% of being able to make the business work, which is kind of like what I'm talking about here, right? When I'm, like, talking about word of mouth marketing and things like that, because that's really what that is. As somebody who's worked in, like, book marketing for, like, 4, almost 5 years now, effectively the most efficient way to market yourself is to take out ads, depending on what you're trying to sell, but also recognize, too, that it's likely not you that can't make commissions work. Like, right now, the commissions market in art is so fucking bad that people who have been professional full-time commission artists for a decade are quitting doing commissions because they keep getting scammed, or they're told that they're not fast enough, or they're told that they're too expensive, they don't deserve minimum wage, like all sorts of shit. It is just not a very friendly market to be in right now, and hasn't really been, at least in the US, for the last 10 years. And especially as people enter states of economic crises, like what we are experiencing right now globally because of the oil prices. A good example of that is that in the US right now, minimum wage is $7.25, I think. Federal minimum wage, I think. Right now it's $7.25. Yep, $7.25. A pack of ground beef costs $8. So it would take a person in the US right now 1 hour of their life to pay for one 1.5 pound bag of ground beef. So if people have the choice to purchase art commissions or buy ground beef, they're likely going to buy ground beef, unfortunately. So keep that in mind. It's likely not you. It's just the state of things right now is so fucking bad. It's not like it was in the early 2000s when that market was booming. And you could very reasonably make a living off of being a commissioned artist. And I recognize that there are probably minors in the stream, but another thing to keep in mind is that when you are a legal adult age in your country, the best way to make commissions is to do NSFW work. This is advice that I also got from a professional Disney storyboard artist who was my teacher. So, like, that is the most surefire way to make money doing commissions, is to produce adult work.
And if that's not something that you're interested in, it totally makes sense. I don't typically tend to do it either because I like, as a demisexual person, I just don't find too much enjoyment in that shit. But that's something to keep in mind, is that unless you are effectively producing pornography, your chances of being able to make full-time commissions are very, very slim. And even the NSFW market is being overrun by AI dude bros producing fucking quote art. And they're able to generate 13,000 images a month. And if they get $1 per image, then that means that they make $13K a month, which is insane. So like DeviantArt's highest selling commission artists are all AI porn artists. So not to say don't do commissions, but if you do feel like you're not making commissions right now, that's why. It's a combination of like the worst market I've ever fucking seen in my life, and also people here in the US right now are cutting back on groceries. This month they bought, or like last month in March, we bought 25% less groceries than we had in previous months, which to me indicates that we're going into a recession. As somebody who's lived through one before, the 2008 recession was a fucking doozy. So artists are going to be the ones to suffer first. So if you can't make money that way, just keep that in mind. It's not because you're not talented or you're not doing something right. It's just, it is so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, the only way I see out of this is Ireland, going the Ireland route, giving UBI to artists. Yeah, I think totally Melpomenea, 100%. It needs to be given to everybody. I can understand why Ireland gave it to artists first, because we're the most at risk, right? It's like us, hairstylists, barbers, people who provide, quote, luxury services, nail techs, estheticians, massage therapists, right? Like, these are things that people do need and do enjoy. But in the US, they're viewed as like a luxury, and so then effectively they die, right? The people providing those services are the first to die. Like my dad, I have a personal experience with this. My dad has been a professional photographer since the 1980s, and he used to be like kind of a jack of all trades photographer. He would do advertising stuff. He would do boudoir photography. He would do fine art photography. It was like a whole mix of everything. And then he recognized that the most consistent business was going to be school photography. So he started to do school photography specifically for elementary school aged kids and younger. And when that first housing recession hit in 2008, my dad was going to scrap yards to loot metal. He would go and buy big pieces of machinery or like old camper trailers or things like that and loot them for copper, and was reselling copper wire and copper pieces to smelters so that way we could fucking eat. Like, we almost lost our house. My mom was a professional barber and then was a stay-at-home mom, and so both of them were in that demographic that got hit the hardest by that recession. So we're about to see the same thing again. With people in those specific categories. But yeah, like at this point, I definitely totally agree. From a math and finance standpoint, UBI, especially with the introduction of AI and the reality that AI itself is going to probably take about 70% of all white collar jobs specifically, people who got degrees in business, accountants, to some extent engineers, coders, fucking marketing professionals, like all of these people are going to lose their fucking job. And unless we have something like UBI in place, we are not going to survive. We built an entire system around, instead of like a barter system, which would have been way more effective, we built a system effectively around made-up monetary value, and then now are surprised when that fails, you know? So, yeah, UBI I'm a huge proponent for it, and I hope that we can get there. I remember when, what was his fucking name? I think Yang was his last name. He was running in the primaries with and alongside Bernie Sanders in 2016. And he was a huge proponent of UBI. That guy was also talking about back in 2016 how the tech revolution was going to effectively wipe out all jobs, and he was right. He was fucking right. So I think about that guy. Which guy? Not being very left-wing. The universal basic income guy? I don't remember what the rest of his platform was. Oh, yeah, his name was Andrew Yang. He also ran in 2020 as well. He founded his own political party called the Forward Party. So he runs his own party. Oh, yeah, so they're like... Oh, but see, they also, unfortunately, are a part of PACs as well. So, yeah, that makes them not as reliable. But the reason that they went and founded a PAC is because they want to compete against Dems and Republicans as a third party. Because that's really where a lot of, like, independent parties here in the U.S. fail, is that they don't have the massive amount of funding. But then PACs in themselves are... they are essentially corrupt. PACs will ultimately lead to political corruption. So I know like other independents, particularly socialists, have avoided utilizing PACs because they're ultimately not that stable. But these guys consider themselves purely centrist. So yes, based on his own description of his own policies, yes, he is not a leftist political progressive. He is a centrist, in his own words. But yeah, I don't know what his current views are now. And if he leaned that direction, that would change my opinion on him. Because I definitely... yeah, longer work weeks are not the fucking solution. We can't be Henry Fording this shit. That is not how this works. I don't know how that's supposed to help. That is a funny idea. That's some silly Billy shit. We just need to have some serious political reform, and right now we are not getting it. Point being. But yeah, keep your heads up out there, I guess, is the point, is that a lot of fucking industries are suffering. Artists will get hit first, but at the end of the day, if we can kind of, you know, you have to diversify your income stream, which is what I've done my whole life. You know, get a part-time job at a bookstore, get a part-time job at an arts and like craft supplies store, and as much as it fucking sucks, like shifting expectations and understanding that like if you don't get commissions during a month, like a certain month, it's not because you suck, it's not because you're offering your work for too high of a price, it's not because you're overvaluing yourself, it's just because like everything is bad, like, and it has been bad for like 15 fucking years straight. Like it's been bad my entire adult life. So it's not something that we did. It's something that we have to fix, and that is a really crappy position to be born into. Because I would much rather just fucking ride out a system that works. You know, that would be... Imagine that, living in a system that actually just fucking functions. What crazy thought there. But Bernie was also championing for UBI as well. And I ended up, you know, I'm still a huge Bernie Sanders supporter. He's not necessarily perfect, as no politician is perfect, but Bernie's a fucking icon. I know if he was still fit and physically able, he'd be on the streets at No King's protests right now. He's just fucking really old. But yeah, fucking longer work week sounds like actual hell. That's like the opposite of what we want. I wonder what their logic is behind that. Like, that makes zero fucking sense.
Because ultimately, if we had, like, some degree of UBI, like, we wouldn't need to work. Not nearly as much anyway. Effectively, everybody could poly work. You'd have, like, multiple sources of income and then UBI as well. So, like, you wouldn't have to, like, work a longer work week. It doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathin'. But what do I know? I'm just a fucking plebe. I'm too smart for my own fucking good. And I have no idea what's going on. Not really. But then again, does anybody? Just to give everybody an update as well, we're starting to make a lot of headway on certain books and their reviews. If you're interested in continuing to review books, I would be very grateful for it. In terms of my own, like, Tycho Dwellis books, Court of Snakes is now up to 10, and what's really cool is once they get to this point, they show the Goodreads reviews as well, and so that can start to help my book because I clearly have way more Goodreads reviews than I do Amazon reviews. So this is useful. Getting it to 10 is really huge. So if anybody wants to help boost a book, One Pale Reflection would be the next one that needs help getting it up to 10. So if you guys want a free copy of One Pale Reflection, please let me know. It's a very fun, whimsical portal fantasy for middle grade, or, like, I would say young adult readers, not necessarily middle grade. The main character is 12 and his older sister is 14. So if you guys want a copy of that to review, please let me know. It's like that one, and I think, like, the rest of the Brady books at this point now. I have to have a meeting with my boss. I need to sit down and talk with him about what the fuck I'm doing with my life. Because I don't know. I don't got answers to that shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm just a guy. I have to effectively rework my entire marketing strategy, because that's something else to keep in mind as well, is that conventions no longer are very beneficial as well. So if you're an artist doing conventions, at least in the US, I can, mind you, only speak from the US perspective, but conventions are fucking dead and have been dead probably for like 8 years. So I have to, point being, switch my marketing strategy because conventions no longer are valuable. Because nobody can fucking afford to buy anything. So it's a lot of people going to conventions, staring, and just walking around. I get really lucky if I get one person who's like, oh my god, I love books. And I'm like, holy shit, you can read? Crazy. So then that's always a good feeling. But it'll literally be like, I'll go to a convention and get one sale. And make back the cost of my booth, like, barely. So keep that in mind, too, if you're an indie artist and you're thinking about getting into conventions now, may not be the time. Just wait it out. God, there's so much detail on this damn dress. Remember when I was like, I'm gonna work on my portfolio today? I did this again last time, too. This dress is literally the end of me. God damn it. And I love the sparkles. I really do, but, like, oh my god. Why are we biting Twitch? What's happening? What the fuck? What did Jeffrey do? Jeffrey Bezos. It used to be fun, you know? Like, shit used to be fun and silly. And I feel like we're slowly having that juice sucked out of us, and not in like a fun way. Oh, an eye twitch. Oh god. Oh god. I haven't had one of those in a hot minute, so that means that I'm like kind of sleeping? Question mark? Like, sort of? So I guess that's a plus. That's fun. This is the most boring fucking intro to... Oh, it's Bo Burnham. I was like, Bo, this is the most... Actually, no, that's the point. That's funny. No, Bo got me. He got me. Bo Burnham got me. Now, out of respect, I have to finish this fucking song. This is a parody guaranteed. Yeah, this is a parody. Jesus Christ. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. There it fucking is. God damn it, Bo. Oh my god, what the fuck, Bo? Oh my god. Hi, Chips. Oh, you mean you missed me having a fucking existential crash out earlier, and crying a lot, but other than that, I'm fucking fine, I guess. I hope that you're okay. Yeah, I am not doing good. Jesus Christ, Bo Burnham, oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ, what is this song? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. I want a shirt that says everyone's a feminist until there's a fucking spider. What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm fine. Oh my fuck, I'm crashing out. My brain is not functioning. Oh my god, Bo fucking Burnham. Oh my god. That should be illegal. What the fuck? I'm okay. Okay, I'm fucking finally done with the stupid dress. We're alright.
I hope you're having some nice walkies. At least. I'm sorry that shit hit the fan with that. The last time that I had roommates that were people that I didn't know, the guy stole a gun and then also tried to fucking rob us, so that was cool. That's been my experience of renting with people that I don't know, so that was a time. Yeah, it was bad. I was not robbed at gunpoint, to clarify. The guy broke into our house after we kicked him out because he wasn't paying rent, and then he came back, I'm presuming with friends, and looted the house, and one of our roommates was an army vet, and he had his sidearm in the house, and they stole that and a bunch of other shit, so that's crazy. Took my car for a fucking joyride, so that's cool. Smoked in my car. It was crazy. People are like, what's the American experience? I'm like, that. You know. Probably went and did some fucking drug sales with it or some shit. I will never know, though. That car got totaled by hail, so I guess I'll never know the secret. Now that I think about it, actually, that's pretty fucking likely. They probably went and did some serious fucking crime in that shit. Who knows? Oh my god, okay, that only took 4,000 years. I'm actually going to take this and bring that up like that. That's better. Yeah, this is a character named Octavia from Periapt Presses, one of their books. The book is called The Warlock of Convasana. She's the main character, follows the adventures of Octavia Baudelaire, a warlock with an intriguing patron, and a trio of adventurers who turn her life upside down. It's a lighthearted, open-door fantasy romance, is inspired by tabletop RPG settings and characters, and then includes themes of why choose, found family, and ancient magic. So yeah, if you like fucking open door, spicy ass romances and hot female main characters, this is the one for you. This is the one. Octavia is the lady. But Drea is also a fucking delight. I think she writes this book under her pseudonym though, because it's like spicy. So that's fun. Yeah, I'm glad that you weren't in danger with your roommates. I feel like, depending on where you live, that can be kind of a common occurrence where they're, like, fucking actually, like, scary. Thankfully, the dude was just a young shithead. He was, like, you know, with dumb fucking friends. Didn't have a job, you know, so, like, was stealing shit. Just some young punk, you know, like, I wouldn't say that my life was, like, actively in danger. Just so fucking annoying. He was much younger than us.
and that should have been a red flag. Unfortunately, I trusted my army vet friend with picking out roommates, and he grabbed them off of like fucking Facebook Marketplace or some shit. I don't know. Roommates from Temu. So I do low-key blame him for that. But, alas. Yeah, I've like low-key been through some shit, I realize. It was also during the last PTSD crash out that I had. That was like a decade ago. I cannot catch a fucking break, guys. That was actually likely the beginning of the PTSD crash out, actually. No. Well, no, I guess that would have been kind of in the middle of it. Yeah, sorry this stream was really fucking weird, guys. Okay, there we go. Fucking A. Alright. Okay, on the plus side, this whole thing is relatively the same color. There's not really a lot going on. This dress is indeed all the same color. I love it when that happens. It's like a rose gold color. So let's see, she looks like a normal fucking human. No. This is too white. I'm just gonna kind of go in here. Jolly good. I wish to go crawl into the crater, guys. Oh my god. Okay, what color are her eyes? Alright. Alright. Who is that girl I see? I'm fine. I wish that I had some level of mental fortitude. Was actually kind of a dark brown. All right, let me get this. Oh, you know what? I forgot that. That's not what we want. Oh, I'm a dumbass. That's antler. I am a fool. Alright, let me turn contiguous off, and then I'm gonna go up here, and we're gonna pick like a white. If I can get done with this color, that would be amazing. It'd be pretty fucking sick. I'm gonna actually do that last. That, and then now I need to do a lighter color, and let me figure out what the fuck I want to do here. Sure. Oh, maybe not. Almost. Life on Mars? Is there any life on Mars? Morning she would wake up with another plan. Oh, there's so much fucking detail going on in this dress. There's so much happening here. Any life on Mars? Is there any life on Mars? Is there any life on Mars? Do you feel like you're relevant? Do you feel like you're relevant? Do you feel like you're just scared as fuck? Do you feel like you're irrelevant? Oh, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I'm dumb. Hold on, I got it. That's not at all how this is supposed to go. Okay, that's... curve that like that. There we go. That is not how that was supposed to go. Okay. Alright, that'll do. Oh wait, I need her necklace. Don't fucking do that. Same color. Actually, you know what? This is easy. Do that, and we got the same color here. It's guaranteed. That's important. Not bad. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and call that
for today. Sorry for having an absolute fucking crash out. I'll be back tomorrow to do more writing. I did qualify for round 3, which doesn't surprise me, for this open novella contest. So now I just got to get through 20k words, and I'll be good to go. So I'm going to be coming back tomorrow to do that writing. And I will see you later. It looks like our stream for Court of Snakes is going to be on Monday evenings in May. So if you'd like to stop in and listen to Court of Snakes 2 to give it an early review before it launches on BackerKit, please feel free to stop in. I'll be making a special announcement about that in the Discord, and also updating my stream schedule for May with those dates. If you can't make it, they'll all be uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch them at any time. Otherwise, as I mentioned earlier, if you all want to take some time to get out, it would be amazing if I could get 5 people to review One Pale Reflection to get it to 10. That would be amazing. So let me know if you want a free copy of that book. It would really help. And otherwise, I guess I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.